Imagine this. Your bags are packed, documents in hand, excitement building as the ship towers in front of you. You're already picturing sunsets, ocean air, and the moment you step on board. Then it happens. You're pulled aside. A quiet conversation, a pause that feels too long, and suddenly your vacation ends before it even begins. Boarding denial is one of the most shocking experiences a cruiser can face, and in 2026, it's happening more often than people realize. Not because of obvious mistakes, but because of small details most travelers overlook. Today, we're breaking down the real reasons cruisers are denied boarding in 2026. Read carefully, because one overlooked detail can cost you everything. Reason 1. Passport validity that falls short by a few months. In 2026, passport rules are enforced more strictly than ever, and many cruisers are denied boarding because their passport is technically valid, but not valid enough. Many itineraries require passports to be valid for at least 6 months beyond the cruise end date. Even if the cruise returns to the same country, travelers often assume that if their passport doesn't expire during the trip, they're safe. That assumption is wrong. Cruise lines must comply with international port regulations, and they do not make exceptions at the terminal. Even being short by a few weeks can result in immediate denial. Staff at the port cannot override this rule, no matter how unfair it feels. This is one of the most painful denials because it feels preventable in hindsight. Always check validity months in advance, not days. Reason 2. Name mismatches between booking and identification. A surprisingly common reason for denial in 2026 is a mismatch between the name on your booking and the name on your government-issued ID. This includes missing middle names, incorrect spelling, hyphen issues, or married names not updated on documents. Many cruisers assume small differences won't matter. They do. Cruise lines treat identity verification seriously because of international travel laws. If your booking says one thing and your passport says another, staff may not be able to confirm your identity legally. This is especially common with last-minute bookings or third-party travel agencies. Even one missing letter can trigger a problem. Once flagged, the process becomes complicated fast. Fixing name errors before travel is essential because terminals are not equipped to correct documentation mistakes on the spot. Reason 3. Missing or incorrect travel visas. In 2026, cruise itineraries are more global and visa requirements are more complex. Many travelers assume cruises are exempt from visa rules. They are not. If your itinerary includes ports that require a visa for your nationality, even if you don't plan to disembark, you may still be required to have one. Cruise lines verify this before boarding. If you can't produce the correct visa, you will be denied entry to the ship. This catches many travelers off guard, especially those cruising through multiple regions. Visa requirements can change with little notice, and cruise lines will not risk fines or port denial on your behalf. It is the passenger's responsibility to confirm requirements for every port, not just the embarkation country. Reason 4. Arriving after the final boarding cutoff time. In 2026, cruise boarding windows are strictly enforced. Arriving even minutes after the final cutoff can result in denial regardless of the reason. Traffic delays, flight issues, long security lines, none of these are considered valid excuses by the cruise line. Once the manifest is finalized and boarding closes, the ship prepares for departure procedures that cannot be reversed. Many travelers misjudge how long embarkation takes, assuming the process is flexible. It is not. Cruise terminals operate like airports with security, documentation checks, and timed clearances. If you arrive late, the ship may still be visible, but legally unreachable. This is one of the most devastating denials because everything else may be perfectly in order. Reason 5. Incomplete or missing health documentation. Health documentation remains a critical requirement in 2026, especially for international cruises. While many restrictions have eased, cruise lines still require specific health forms, declarations, or proof of compliance depending on itinerary and region. Some travelers skip online health check-ins or assume old documentation will be accepted. Others forget to complete digital forms entirely. If your health clearance is incomplete or missing in the system, boarding can be denied on the spot. Terminal staff cannot manually bypass these requirements. Cruise lines prioritize onboard safety and legal compliance, not convenience. This reason often surprises passengers because it feels administrative rather than critical. but it is treated as non-negotiable. Reason 6. Booking errors or unpaid balances. One of the most frustrating reasons for denial in 2026 is unresolved booking issues. This includes unpaid balances, failed payments, chargebacks, or booking errors that were never corrected. Some travelers assume payment issues will be resolved automatically or at the terminal. They won't. If your booking is flagged as incomplete, inactive, or financially unresolved, boarding can be denied immediately. This is especially common with installment plans or third-party bookings. Even small remaining balances can cause problems. Cruise lines require full payment clearance before embarkation. Terminal staff do not handle billing disputes. Always confirm your booking status directly with the cruise line before travel day. Reason 7. Issues with birth certificates on closed-loop cruises. Closed-loop cruises, those that start and end in the same country, often allow birth certificates instead of passports. In 2026, however, this option is more restrictive. Many cruisers are denied boarding because their birth certificate does not meet requirements. Photocopies, laminated copies, hospital certificates, or digital images are often rejected. Only specific government-issued versions are accepted, and requirements vary by cruise line. Many travelers assume any birth certificate is fine. That assumption leads to denial. If your document does not meet the exact criteria, there is no workaround at the port. This is one of the most misunderstood documentation rules in cruising. Reason 8. Traveling with minors without proper authorization. In 2026, travel rules for minors are enforced more strictly, especially when only one parent or guardian is present. If you are traveling with a child and do not have proper consent documentation, you may be denied boarding. This includes notarized permission letters from absent parents or legal guardians. Cruise lines enforce this to prevent international custody disputes and legal issues. Many families are unaware of this requirement until it's too late. Even if the child shares your last name, documentation may still be required. Terminal staff cannot make judgment calls on family situations. Without proper authorization, boarding can be refused immediately. Reason 9. Flagged behavior or prior cruise line bans. Cruise lines share internal records, and in 2026, passenger behavior history matters more than ever. Travelers who were previously banned, flagged for misconduct, or involved in serious onboard incidents may be denied boarding without advance notice. This can include violence, repeated rule violations, or major disputes on prior sailings. Some passengers assume bans expire automatically. They don't always. If your name is flagged in the system, boarding can be denied regardless of how long ago the incident occurred. Cruise lines prioritize onboard safety and reputation. This denial often comes as a shock because passengers may believe past issues were resolved. Reason 10. Carrying prohibited or undeclared items. Security screening in 2026 is more thorough, and passengers carrying prohibited items can be denied boarding. This includes certain electrical devices, large appliances, restricted substances, or undeclared items that violate cruise policies. Many travelers assume items will simply be confiscated. In some cases, possession alone is grounds for denial. Refusing to surrender an item or arguing with security escalates the situation quickly. Cruise lines have zero tolerance for compliance issues at embarkation. What seems minor to a passenger may be treated as a serious policy violation by the cruise line. Reason 11. Failure to complete mandatory online check-in. The final reason is one of the most avoidable. In 2026, most cruise lines require full online check-in before arrival at the terminal. This includes document uploads, photo verification, emergency contacts, and agreements. Passengers who skip or partially complete this process may find their boarding delayed or denied. Terminal staff rely on pre-cleared digital systems to manage thousands of passengers efficiently. If your profile is incomplete, the system may block your entry entirely. This often surprises travelers who assume check-in can be done in person. In 2026, that assumption can cost you the entire trip. Being denied boarding isn't about bad luck. It's about missing details. In 2026, cruising is smoother than ever for prepared travelers and brutally unforgiving for those who overlook the fine print. Every reason on this list has ended real vacations before they began. The good news: every single one is preventable. Double-check your documents, confirm your booking, read the requirements carefully, Because the most expensive cruise mistake isn't choosing the wrong cabin, it's never stepping on board at all.